Thank you very much for coming. We appreciate the opportunity to discuss exactly what's been happening in light of the allegations against Charlie and the multiple proactive steps that he's taken to repair the damage and stop any hurtful behavior that has happened. The biggest announcement that we have today is that Charlie's 3 restaurants have just finished hiring a new chief operating officer, a new COO. We can't release her name yet. We need to give her a little bit of time to let whoever she needs to know about this transition, but we anticipate being able to release her name today, so stay tuned. She is going to assume executive and sole management control of the 3 restaurants. That is to say, Charlie will not be managing the restaurants. The COO will. And over time, she will take on an equity interest. That means she will be an owner, and her ownership interest will come out of some of Charlie's ownership interest. We're really looking forward to her joining the team. She knows that in addition to running the 3 restaurants, she is charged with professionalizing the operations at these 3 restaurants, and she's dedicated to doing that. She also knows that she's charged with creating a better environment, and she's on board with doing that. And she won't be doing it alone. Charlie, at the advisement of his counsel, has put together a team of problem solvers. There are at least 6 of us. I'm one of them. I'm an employment attorney, as Larry just explained. Problem solving is what I do for a living. He has Allison Surwitz, who is the company's attorney. He also has Maureen Bogue, who is a third-party independent attorney who came in to do an investigation as soon as these allegations broke. That investigation started immediately, but it took 4 weeks to complete because the investigation was open to any employees that wanted to speak with Maureen, and 55 of them ended up doing so. They spoke to her on a condition of confidentiality because that's what's important to the integrity of an investigation that seeks to find out exactly what's happened and seeks to find out how best to change things moving forward. A lot of employees decided to speak specifically because they could do so in confidence. So I know there have been some calls for the investigative report to be released to the public. We won't be doing that. These employees have a right to privacy. These are sensitive personnel matters, and the company assured them that what they said to the investigator would be confidential, and we're going to stand by that assurance. Other things that have happened, there are quite a few. First and foremost, Charlie has acknowledged that his behavior was hurtful and inappropriate, and he's taken full responsibility for that. He is committed to repairing the damage that's happened. He's committed to bringing a sense of justice to those who were harmed, and he's committed to working on a better culture. One of the key components of that, in addition to bringing on the independent investigator, is retaining an HR consultant who has audited all of the company's policies, put together a new employment manual, which will be released to the employees shortly, probably this week. There have been multiple HR trainings on how to prevent sexual harassment. Those trainings have been administered to managers and employees, and there are more trainings to come. Charlie has also retained, through his attorney, Allison Surwitz, a management coach, Nina Kaufman, to help the entire enterprise learn how to manage effectively. And Charlie is committed to following a path of restorative justice through Restorative Justice for Oakland. Restorative justice is a process by which those who have been hurt or harmed can voice their needs, and anybody who has done any of the harming can take responsibility so that, all members of that community can participate in coming together to work on a reconciliatory plan for making things better moving forward. Charlie has stepped away from the company, and he did so immediately. He has not set foot in any of his 3 restaurants since December 27th. He's not taking a salary, and he's not taking any ownership disbursements. The purpose of that is to give all the employees the space to deal with what's happened, and it's also to give him the space that he needs to undertake the very serious and difficult work of a self-reckoning, of understanding what has happened and what he needs to do to correct it going forward. I mentioned a moment ago that there was an investigation that lasted 4 weeks. It just concluded this last Friday. The general findings have been shared with Ms. Surwitz. The details of that report will not be given to Charlie. Charlie is not in any sort of driver's seat at this point. On Ms. Surwitz's recommendation, Charlie will be taking a leave of absence for a minimum of 6 months. During that time, he will not be drawing a salary. During that time, our new COO will be running these restaurants with full autonomy. During that time, Charlie will be pursuing scheduled and mediated restorative justice. This is run, like I said, by Restorative Justice for Oakland, an outside mediator who will come in and facilitate these conferences. At the end of 6 months, Charlie, the COO, and the other owners will sit down and have a frank discussion about him coming back, if it's the right time, and in what way. But all parties have already agreed that when he does come back, it will not be in a management capacity. He is a creative culinary force that created these restaurants that so many people have come to enjoy and love, that are parts of our community. And he agrees, actually, that he should be operating in a creative capacity, not a management one. I basically hit on all the major points right here at this point.